Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel. So this is the bonus video that I recorded during my previous vlog, which you can find on the channel right now. But I am here at Galaxy's Edge with a very late opinion piece because a couple weeks ago it was announced that Galaxy's Edge here at Disneyland will be expanding its timeline. Basically, Black Spire Outpost is going to be themed to the original trilogy. They're getting rid of anything that relates to the sequel trilogy. And this all happens April 29th here at Disneyland, not at Hollywood Studios at Disney World. And I know I'm really late on this, but I figured since I'm coming to Disneyland anyway, I might as well give my opinions at Galaxy's Edge. So if you want the short, like, what do you think of this news type of thing, I think it's good news because I'm an OG guy. Like, I grew up with the original trilogy. I know that the prequels and the Clone Wars were my generation of Star Wars, but the prequel movies themselves are just meh, and I will forever cherish the original trilogy. So I'm excited to see characters like Vader, Leia, Han, Luke roam around Batuu, or at least Black Spire Outpost. I am a little disappointed that Disney didn't just stick to like making your own Star Wars adventure like they did originally when this place opened. But Black Spire Outpost is at the very least minimal enough to where you can make the smallest changes and you're in a different era altogether. Like, I could show you right now. See this area, for example, there's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 First Order flags in this section of Black Spire Outpost. Just swap them out for Imperial flags. And then as for the shuttle right behind me, just give it a little bit of a lighter paint job, and it could pass as a TIE Reaper from the Age of the Empire because it looks more Imperial than First Order. And then in here, they're already starting to prep for the change because there's a lot of Imperial merch than First Order merch. See, there's an enlist, join the Empire flag right down there.
Affirmative. Here we go. Clear the way. Move aside. We have eyes on you.
Again, there's not much in Black Spire Outpost that like screams it belongs in a specific era of the Star Wars universe. So they could easily just make all these very simple changes. And when we get to Smuggler's Run, like, because it's a simulator ride, they don't have to do anything to like specify that set in the original trilogy. Just replace all the First Order TIE fighters with Imperial TIE fighters. And then some people have pointed out the Millennium Falcon's radar dish that is in the first 2 sequel trilogy films, Force Awakens and Last Jedi. If you want my personal opinion on that matter, they don't have to change that at all because it's literally the dish that replaces the one that got damaged in Return of the Jedi. So the Falcon could just stay as it is, the piece of junk that we all know and love. I decided to hop in a line to Smuggler's Run, which normally is a ride that I would not do by myself, but I can also further show you why changing this ride to the original trilogy is not really going to do a whole lot, because the character that leads this attraction, Hondo, has lived through all 3 eras of Star Wars. All you have to do is just have Jim Cummings come in, record a couple of other lines that specifically mention the Empire, not the First Order, and there you go. I know they're coming up with a new mission for this attraction, which involves the Mandalorian, which will also be roaming around Galaxy's Edge. So again, being that it's a simulator ride, minimal changes.
I am Hondo Onaka, and this is Onaka Transport Solutions. Today, I am offering the opportunity of a lifetime. I need flight crews to transport this valuable merchandise across the galaxy, pilots to navigate, engineers to operate the ship, and gunners to defend the shipments. And that is where you come in. The Millennium Falcon, on loan for some very fast and very profitable expeditions. Chewbacca, my fine furry friend! Yes, as we agreed, you let us use the ship, we we'll get you the supplies you need. It's a win-win. You help the resistance, and I get all the profits. What? The first order will never know we were there. Okay, time to go, so, bye-bye.
So yeah, Blue Milk is still going to be here. And Smuggler's Run, a cast member just said that the Mandalorian scene will be available in May, which is perfect timing with the movie. And that's pretty much for Black Spire Outpost in terms of the physical changes. Another change that they're going to make, and one that I think is very well warranted, is bringing in John Williams' score across this land. Because I actually love Galaxy's Edge, but notice how dead quiet it is. I get they're trying to make it be like you're in the world of Star Wars, but the world of Star Wars is not complete without John Williams' music. So once April 29th comes around, this whole place is gonna be filled with John Williams' iconic score. Much like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, how the music of John Williams, Patrick Doyle, Nicholas Hooper, and Alexandre Desplat are all around the land. And I don't understand why this wasn't something that they put into the land originally. But I'm excited to finally hear the John Williams Star Wars music. And I think according to the blog that Disney posted on their blog site, they mentioned that the tunnel music will be changed to the Star Wars theme, which I admit I'm a little disappointed in, because whenever I walk through that tunnel, it feels like I'm being transported to another world. Since Black Spire Outpost, Galaxy's Edge, is just so cut off from the rest of Disneyland that you feel like you're fully immersed. It'll be a shame to lose that tunnel music, but getting the rest of the score throughout the land, I'm excited for. Wouldn't it just be so much better to be listening to Star Wars music as you were walking through this marketplace? Because it's just too quiet and not at all epic. So again, the music is a change that I welcome 100%. Or just walking through this forest to get from Black Spire Outpost to Rise of the Resistance. Like, the music would just make this land feel much more alive, and having just sound effects is not bad, but it's the reason why Wizarding World of Harry Potter is just such a better land than Galaxy's Edge. And I'm a bigger Star Wars fan than Harry Potter. All right, so now the final thing that I should probably talk about is something that I think got swept under the rug with the announcement that Black Spire Outpost, again, Black Spire Outpost, would be rethemed to the original trilogy, because I've seen a lot of people online thinking, oh, that means the entire land, Galaxy's Edge, is going to be rethemed to the original trilogy, the sequel trilogy's out of here. Not quite, because I am now in the area for Rise of the Resistance, which is currently closed for refurbishment, but this is staying to the sequel trilogy, and it totally makes sense for it to stay themed to the sequel trilogy, because if you look at all the Star Wars lore, like the inside of a Star Destroyer and the Death Star from the Galactic Empire looks very different from the inside of a First Order Star Destroyer. And the way Rise of the Resistance is designed, they just can't change it to the original trilogy, because they have Kylo Ren animatronics, they have a General Hux animatronic. Like I said earlier, the production design is very different because Rise of the Resistance is themed to being inside a First Order Star Destroyer, which again looks different from an Imperial Star Destroyer. And on top of that, outside the land, you have a T-70 X-Wing, which is very different from a T-65. So it's going to take a lot to change this, as well as Poe's X-Wing once you're inside the ride. And then the RZ-2 A-Wing is different from the RZ-1 that the Rebellion used. So there's just a lot in this area of Galaxy's Edge that cannot be changed to the original trilogy. And quite frankly, I'm okay with that, because Rise of the Resistance is an incredible ride. And if Disney's really gonna ditch the idea that Galaxy's Edge is set in a specific era of Star Wars, then why not make this a hybrid land? Much like with Jurassic Park at Islands of Adventure, where you've got Velocicoaster set to Jurassic World and River Adventure set to Jurassic Park. Just make all of Galaxy's Edge a hybrid land. You got Black Spire Outpost set to the original trilogy. You've got this area for Rise of the Resistance set to the sequel trilogy. Now we just got to find a way to incorporate the prequel trilogy into this land, and then all Star Wars fans will be happy. And before any of you get in the comments saying there are no fans of the sequel trilogy, there are. Just give them a couple years, because the same thing was said about the prequels, where nobody thought that a prequel trilogy fan existed, and now they're everywhere. So just give the sequel trilogy fans a time to rise, and you'll see that there's a bigger fan base for that era than you think. All right, really quickly, getting back to the topic of the music coming to Galaxy's Edge. This area, doesn't this just feel more immersive than the places in Galaxy's Edge that have dead silence? I mean, I hate to abandon this music, but it'll certainly help the rest of the land to get the John Williams score. Anyway, that's going to do it for my thoughts on the changes coming to Galaxy's Edge here at Disneyland. Again, at Hollywood Studios and Disney World, Galaxy's Edge is going to stay the same. They're not getting any new changes. I am excited to see the changes that are coming to this place. It's not going to be major, I don't think, but maybe the music will definitely make things more enhanced. I'm a fan of Galaxy's Edge, I gotta say. I know it's not the best land, especially if you compare it to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, but there was at least an effort to try something with this land. It didn't succeed fully, but I'm willing to embrace these new changes with the special edition of Galaxy's Edge. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, that's gonna do it for my opinion piece on the changes coming to Galaxy's Edge here. I know I'm very late again, but considering I was coming to Disneyland anyway, I might as well film this on location rather than in my apartment. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, that must mean you really like it. So consider hitting that subscribe button. Let me know down below in the comments. Are you excited for the changes to Galaxy's Edge here at Disneyland? And before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Michaela and Nick, who I ran into in the queue for Smuggler's Run. It was great chatting with you guys about theme parks and other theme park YouTubers out there. It was really great talking to you guys. And for everyone else, thank you for watching the video. And if you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky, and Threads. Yeah, I'm back on that. And my movie review channel right here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Take care. And until I see you next time, safe travels.